morning every weekday and join Akinloye on Cradle Radio. Wake up in the morning every weekday and join Akinloye on Cradle Radio.
This is Cradle Radio.
This is Cradle Radio.
This is Cradle Radio.
This is Cradle Radio. This is Cradle Radio.
This is Cradle Radio,
the home of all things Africa.
Cradle Radio.
This is Cradle Radio.
This is Cradle Radio. This is Cradle Radio.
Every weekday and join Akinloye on Cradle Radio.
I know I'm live, Papa T. I know I'm live. I know I'm live. Just trying to connect all the different elements in there. I'm trying to connect each and every place together. Because I know you're buzzing me up and saying, dude, you're live. You know that? I definitely know that. It's in the morning hour. I'm always glad for each and every moment that I'm here. It's just a way of getting to sensitize people that there's a lot that goes behind whatever you're watching, right? Especially when you're going on 3 different platforms or transmitting spots all at the same time. And this is when I say, this is Canada. But hopefully everybody's hearing me right, loud and clear. Hopefully. I'm always glad each and every time I come around in here and I do my thing, especially in the morning hour. My name is CradleRadio, and this is Canada on Cradle Radio. Yeah, now if you must know, if you're watching and if you're seeing everything loud and clear, just probably give me a thumbs up, okay? Now, the good part about it is having to tell you that we are on Facebook and we're on YouTube as well, live streaming. So if you've subscribed to a YouTube channel, you might just, some people don't have Facebook. It's understandable. And you might be able to be a part of this in one way or the other by just watching it on YouTube. Hopefully. But the show must go on. I give glory to God for the gift of life. For each and every moment that I'm alive, each and every day that I sit in here, each and every day that I have things to say. Good morning, Tolashe. How you doing, darling? From wherever you are in any part of the globe, you must be wondering, oh my God, does he know it's live? Definitely. I knew I was live. Papa T calling me as well, hopefully wanted to say, you know you're live, dude. I'm live, I know. And I'm alive as well. Good morning to anybody that's just watching for the very first time ever. I say good morning. This is Canada as a flagship coming from the stables of Cradle Radio. So whatever you're watching right now on your live stream is what is happening in the Cradle Studios at Cradle Radio. And what we come around to do, especially in this time and space, is having to... I kind of wanted to see if we're live on Cradle Radio as well, and the need for me having to be on searching and going on. And for those of you who might want to know, there's a live transmission going on right now on Cradle Radio. So if you are friends of Cradle Radio, you're on the right spot. And the good part, the icing on the cake, is that you tend to watch me live in the studio. So it's not a case of you just listening. Gone are the days where it's only a frequency modulation, or amplitude modulation, as the case may be. It's a case of you seeing me pursue. If there's a word like that in the morning hour. I remember my dad always saying that, so just wanted to just knock that in today. I love the aspect that I can breathe. I love that aspect that I can come around to you. And I love the aspects where I can be here each and every moment, showcasing, highlighting, expressing the need for certain things to be done in my Canada. I might just probably find out if this is... I think I'm live in there. All right, put this on into my ears so I can monitor different places and in different spots as well. Okay, I see that. That's done for that. So, every time I come around here, some people might probably think, oh, here we go again. Here we go again. It's got 2 different folds. 2 different ways of looking at it. Here we go again might be, here we go again. Or, here we go again. 2 different ways to look at things. But either ways, we'll still keep the things going on, get the show alive, and definitely the show must go on. Now, for those people who are just joining us for the very first time, I'll say yes, we are a radio station, licensed to play, licensed to talk, licensed to air. That's the beautiful part about this generation and this time and space. I love it. I love it. It's all compact in its ways. And not last week, yesterday, I'm like in a time capsule right now. Yesterday we were talking about good deeds coming from a sector of the society, or a section, as you might want to put it, and investigating and hopefully putting a lid on certain discrepancies that we have in our society, and that's thieving of males. And that's that for that. And one of the things that I love about this show is that sometimes we've done some stuff and we talked about it already, but we're not going back anywhere. No, we're done. We're done. Except if it has a part two, like what we're going to be talking about today, it might probably have a part two. That's right, it might have a part two. And when we look at it from a pragmatic point of view, we will say 1 hour is not going to be enough for today's topic. We'll probably do a part one today and throw a boomerang on that episode and wait for it to return as well. So, yesterday was a brilliant show. Loved every contribution that we had as regards that. But today is going to be a bomber. It's going to be a wild one. Don't go nowhere, stay with me.
Wake up in the morning every weekday and join Akinloye on Cradle Radio.
I kind of wanted to search for the perfect headline for this one. And all our headlines are generated from the Cradle Studios, all right? So it's not like we're probably just lifting from somewhere. It's generated from our studios. So we'll probably not give credit to that. But in some of the reports that we actually read live on air, I wanted to say live on radio. I wouldn't not be wrong if I said that as well. If I said live TV, I wouldn't be wrong as if I said that as well. But live on the air. Now the headline reads this morning, if you just joining in, it says, "How's in hell? How policy, greed, and neglect broke Canada's dream." It's gonna be a wild one, man. I saw that headline and I patted the back of my team and I said, good job, guys. Good job, guys. This is Cradle Radio's, this is Canada. And I must say as well, if you have any information for us, you definitely can reach us on info@cradleradio.com. I'm going to put that online right now so you probably can see it. And you could be a part of it as well. You could be a part of it. You could see it and be a part of it. Well, hopefully everybody's seeing me, right? All right, we're gonna roll with this one. We'll see how it goes. Okay, all right, okay. We're live on YouTube as well. That makes it perfect. Makes it perfect. So, if you want to send us anything in terms of information, the best way to reach us will be info@cradleradio.com. info@cradleradio.com. I'll put that. I'll pin that on the page now so you can see it as well yourselves. info@cradleradio.com. That's how to get in touch with us. And definitely you can't miss this one. You can't miss it. Let's just roll this one. Look at it. info@CradleRadio.com. That's how to get to us if you want to, collaborate with us, if you want to talk with us, if you want to investigate with us. And if you have criticism as well, it's welcomed as well. Now let's get to the nitty-gritty of what we have today. How's and how? How's and how policy, greed, and neglect broke Canada's dreams. And that's a tip one. Have you ever thought about relocating to a country and while having to think about that, you never thought about having to spend all that you brought in on housing? Simply put. Because one of those things that readily takes your money away will be housing, right? Especially for people whose currency is lower than the Canadian dollar. When you changing your monies into the Canadian dollar, you saw like a reduction in the size and the weight of your money. And you realize you practically don't have as much as you thought you have. I'm not saying the currency is the best in the whole world. I'm just saying if you're emigrating into Canada, there's a strong possibility that when you change your money, it would, soak up a little. It will leak up a little. It will be reduced in some drastic ways compared to how much you're envisaging you have. So, you're coming in the country, and you thought, at least I'm gonna have a house to myself, or I'm gonna have a home to myself, or an apartment to myself, or a space to myself. And when you have all of that in the back of your mind, the least you want to have is to having to be homeless or having to share a tiny space. Well, this country of mine is set to be the second largest country in the whole world. In a dreamer's mind, you would want to have the fact that it's so big that I can have a huge place to myself. One of the things that a sector of the society of this country of ours have really played well is the public relation elements as regards selling their goods and services. And what am I talking about this morning? Real estate. Real estate. The hilarious and ironical part about this is homes in Canada seems to be in the millions. When you look at this shoebox home, you're gonna see it and you go like, oh, my home is worth this and that. My home is worth that and this. And you might say to yourself, am I a millionaire in Canadian dollars because of my home? I break it down for you as well this way. There is a reason why mortgages are lined up to draw 30 years. 30 years in a man's life or a woman's life, as the case might have it, is the productive years of your life. And I ain't spilling doom this morning. I'm just telling you the fact. You might say, oh yeah, 30-year mortgage, it's so beautiful. You're gonna hear it. Whereas in some countries of the world, when you buy your homes, when you build your homes, you don't even have no mortgage. And I will tell you the sincere fact this morning, home buying is a business for some people. Home selling is a business for some people. And when it concerns homes and buying and selling, the principles of selling and buying and exchanging monies for services or for goods or for events, not only events, for structures, as the case may be in the case of real estate. It's a transactional element of any given society. So nobody ain't doing you no favors. So if you see that beautiful individual that comes smiling and telling you, oh, hi, how you doing? Oh, I brought you coffee. It's transactional. So you're going to be locked into that 30 years. Housing hell. How policy, greed, and neglect broke Canada's dream. I had an opportunity of going to a part of Ontario, during COVID, and I saw this individual, this young lad, having his G-Wagon, which was really good and beautiful as well, and living in a condo downtown somewhere in Ontario. I guess you might have, guess where it was. I ain't speaking about that, not today. And it seems to be a lingo for them youth and young ones and even middle-aged people alike when they go around saying, oh, my condo is right there. Well, my condo is right there. And I asked this individual, this young chap, not young per se, in his 30s. Even if you're in your 40s, you're a young chap to me. So I'm not looking down on you in any way. I'm just saying the reality. So this guy goes around and he says how much he pays for his condo, renting. And I looked at him like this, but I'm not gonna change nobody's mind because I don't have the time for that. I said, oh, it's beautiful. When I was younger, I used to have this notion of wanting to protect the world, protect individuals that I don't even know. This protective elements just surrounded me. I would have said, are you crazy? I didn't say that. I said, oh, it's beautiful, man. So, the amount of money this individual was paying for his condo, the high rise, overlooking that water, was actually thrice somebody else's mortgage. And I just said, it's good. It's beautiful. It is nice. While driving back home, I just looked at the fact that, the young man is probably living his life, enjoying his life, not having to deal and thinking about mortgages and all that, because in a way, systemically, you're tied down into 30 years or more. It depends on whether you're refinancing or not, but you'll tie down whether you like it or not. And you might probably just realize that at the end of the day, if you're smart enough, if anything happens to the housing market, that equity that you think you're building might just vanish. And I'm not spilling doom, I'm just saying it. Statistically, it's said that any individual who owns a home should probably have maybe a quarter in a normal setup, maybe 1/6 of their salaries should be what they're paying as their mortgage. I'm not saying this because I'm a mathematician of some sort. I'm just saying realistically, that's what it should be, because you got other expenses that you might want to cater for while living in that home. And that's where private lenders come in. The private lender is not your friend. The private lender is having a transaction with you. So obviously, when you go around wanting to jump into it, you might just want to have a rethink. And why am I talking about this today? I remember a realtor that I spoke with almost 10 years ago just all of a sudden called me up and said, oh, hi. Trying to be familiar. The ways, them realtors do. trying to be like nice and all cozy, and I'm in the middle of something. I don't even give a hoot about it. I saw the caller ID and I felt, okay, let me do him the honors, you know. It's been 10 years, man. And guess what I did? I picked up a phone and I said, hi. Oh, yeah, do you remember me? I said, it's been 10 years, dude. Well, thank God for your caller ID, or else I might just have hung up on you. And it goes around and he tells me, oh, the prices of market is down. And I'm like, what's my own business with that, bro? What's my own business about that? Because exposure, they say, is the best education in the whole world. What people buy is shoe boxes here. I can't speak for all of Canada, right? But I can speak for Ontario, as the case may be. What people buy for shoebox rates in Ontario is what you buy mansions with in other countries that are first world countries. You can prove me wrong if you can. I've been places, I've seen places, and I've gone to places. And I'm talking this morning about the overbloat of the real estate in Ontario. Hell, housing hell. Now you have all the people in the world. You have all the people coming in. And we're not just talking about people who decide to go into having a mortgage or not now. I'm talking about renters. People who are just starting their lives. People who are just starting their lives. And at the back of their mind, all they're thinking about is, let's start somewhere. And this is where I would say there's certain things that, whether you like to hear it this morning or not, I would applaud a certain race for breaking the barriers of living together in a common way. And that's them Asians. I'm gonna applaud them for that as well, actually.
Wake up in the morning every weekday and join Akin Loye on Cradle Radio.
I definitely applaud them this morning about that. All right. Because at the end of the day, what you realize is, hey, hi Ruben, how you doing, my man? People want to see Ruben? All right, let's cut into Ruben for people to see. Yeah, this is Ruben. This is Ruben right here. Ruben, say hi to people. Say hi to people this morning. Yeah, that's the big boy right there. Big boy right there. Now let's get back to the nitty-gritty of what we're talking about. So, at the end of the day, what readily comes in mind is that aspect of a certain race cracking the code. And what do I mean by they cracking the code? When they come around in the town, they realize that they could live together in unison to crack the code. To crack that code. The very first thing other races want to do when they have a home is seclusion. Oh, me and my wife, me and my husband, me and my children. Well, them Asians ain't doing that. You can have 8 of them in the same home. It's just to sleep, isn't it? People who are not in tune in their mindset to understand living would say, oh, you're gonna cause a whole lot of traffic in those homes. Come on, man. What are you talking about? Or you're gonna cause a lot of misuse of the amenities of them homes. Come on, man. What are you talking about? And people gonna say, well, the value of those homes are not going to be good when those people live. What are you talking about? Have you ever thought about the fact that those kind of stuff that you put in to the minds, into the pockets of those people that are renting from you could not be overemphasized, or they would probably not recuperate from that? Renting a home right now, I don't know the market rate. Renting a home right now in Ontario seems to be like, if you're renting a 2-bed or 3-bedroom home, could be in the 3,000s. Now, the question we want to ask ourselves this morning is simple. Do people earn that 3,000 that goes directly for homes? You might ask yourself that pending question because it's easier to say. You know who complains more about those infrastructure? The generations whose parents already left them a home. They've never paid a rent before in their lives. Or they never, ever been a part of those people who pay a monthly mortgage in their lives. And that's the huge population of people talking about. Oh yeah, them Asians are bringing in 8 people into the home. Once you rent your home, it ain't none of your business no more. No. And I give credit. And today, I'm gonna be in line with some races because it's become a racial thing as well. Because those people that fit the demography of that race, they crack the code. If you want somebody to pay $3,400 or thereabout for a 3-bedroom home or a condo, how logical is it to you? A lot of people milking it, but they ain't complaining about it. They're not even thinking about that aspect of people having to work 2 jobs to afford that living. And guess what? The government isn't even doing nothing about it into intervening in the process of rental rates. Hopefully I'm making sense this morning to anybody who cares to listen. And then the prices of them homes. I was watching the other day. The prices of them homes is overbloated. Everybody complains about this and that. There was a time, wifey and I were looking in a place called Oakville in Ontario. And we saw that Asians and even Canadians own not just one, they own like series of homes in there. It was a new development, so we're looking around and looking at that. And already, you will say, you know what CradleRadio is about, ballpark naming stuff. Chinese already bought a whole lot of them homes in Oakville. So it's not a case of, it's what I call diplomatic hypocrisy is not a forte of mine, so I call it as it is. But let me tell you something. If people have money to invest, to buy homes, and the greed in your country's system allows it, am I going to blame the Chinese for buying 10 homes in Oakville? Or 20 homes? No. Everybody likes to point accusing fingers. I have money to venture into a portfolio, which in this case happens to be asset-based, which are homes. And I buy 10. If I can afford, I buy 20. What happened to your system that's allowing me to buy that? And plus, need brings necessity, or necessity brings need. Either ways you want to look at it from. I will put the rates in as much as I want to make a profit. If the home that you say people buy, if you buy $1 million home, when you want to rent it out, it's going to be in the 3,000, if not 5,000. I don't care who rents it, you just got to pay. And that's where the greed aspect comes in. Not on the part of the investors, no, but on the part of the people that are selling them homes that are not even valued at that rate. But because of the fact that everybody wants to just sell, they say, oh yeah, it's $850,000. Do you know what $850,000 means? Do you know what $1 million means? And you start kind of into them homes for 30 years. Do you know what can happen in 30 years? Please.
Wake up in the morning every weekday and join Akinloye on Cradle Radio.
It's the world we're living in. It's the world we're living in. It's true talk. Neglect on the part of the people in the place of authority that's meant to curtail this anomaly as well. Because in the same Canada, you could still get a home for $100,000 in other parts of Canada with the same amenities. Believe that. Believe that. Now, on the other side, which is not far from us, might be a different country. People buying $100,000 homes in there. That's not a shoebox kind of home. It's got a lawn, it's got a yard, it's got a garage. You know, not a garage that's attached to the home, a garage that has its own space. I don't know what they call that in real estate. Housing hell. And we got students coming in here. People milking it by the day. You might not like what I'm about saying this morning. Well, that's your forte. Because we're going to do a part 2 on this one. And hopefully we're going to bring people in the studios that we'll talk about the housing hell in some parts of Canada, because I can't speak for the whole of Canada, because apparently I've not been to all of Canada as well. Somebody told me that if you go to another province, you might have a better home style in there. Space and all the amenities in place as well. But people say Ontario is where it's happening. Everybody wants to live in Ontario. It's a crazy world we're living in, people. It's a crazy world we're living in. Greed. And I'm telling you something, you're going to mark it down. Hopefully you play this back next year and you listen to yourself and you're going to tell me that I was right. That bubble is about to bust. I'm not spelling doom, but that bubble is about to bust. That banker that assessed you and advised you, oh, it's just this, it's 30 years, we're going to grant you this and that. A lot of banks aren't going to like me this morning. A lot of real estate realtors ain't gonna like me this morning. But the truth needs to be said. You see people that don't even qualify to even go to school being realtors as well. Because it's the easiest thing. Go bring people, go buy houses. It's kind of easy. In some province, and I can't speak for everybody, there are associations that governs over the realtors' functionality in this society. Oh, there are different ones. There are different ones. I know. If I don't know if I should mention it. In Ontario, there's OREA. It's like Ontario Real Estate Association of some sort. Yeah. At a point in any given society, housing is integral to the growth of that society. So many people in Canada today and I'm not speaking in about Canada in its entirety. I'm talking about places that I've been. People pay from hand to mouth, and what that means is that they pay from paycheck to paycheck to be able to afford their living space. And we call that growth. What is the percentage of the people that are attesting to the fact that that is growth, that is a growth in the economy? I might look a little emotional this morning, but that's the reality. That's the truth. A truth needs to be said at all times. That's the truth. If you're buying $1 million home, when are you going to pay it off? And when you pay it off, what's the assurance that the price and the purchasing power of your dollar is still going to be the same value? Because, well, with inflation going up and down, you probably would say to yourselves, oh yeah, you know what, I'm just saving for the rainy day. And that's why my biblical reference comes into play. And it says, think not of tomorrow, because tomorrow will take care of itself.
Wake up in the morning every weekday and join Akinloye on Cradle Radio.
I'm here this morning and I'm looking at housing hell. Like, if you have people who are going through that kind of hell, send me a chat on our social media platforms. We're practically everywhere in terms of social media. You know, Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and LinkedIn. I like the way that one sounds. Accent, formerly known as Twitter. Yeah, we all Cradle Radio on all of that. And you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. We are Cradle Radio. All right, Cradle Radio, that's right, on YouTube. And you could always have your say as regards this. And most importantly, like I do say, and for anybody who cares to listen, episodes that have been done on our shows is not for just a one-off intake. Those are things that could be a point of reference in time to come, in time immemorial. And people can always say to themselves, he said that. You watch this in 200 years from now, and you're going to know there's a guy called Akinloye, the greatest planet. And he did tell us about it. In a case where I think it was a housing minister. Yeah, I think it was a housing minister in one of them provinces. I'll check it up real quick before we finish the show. It was a housing minister in one of the provinces that resigned for sale of the green belt area of that province. I'll fact check myself before mentioning you that province right now. I guess you all know too well. I think it was a housing minister. Man's greed, man's inhumanity to man is what's gonna be the doom of man. We all want to make the money. At what point would you say to yourself, that money is enough? When you sleep in your homes with all the money you have in the world, how much of a space do you consume? When you lie down on your bed, be it a queen size single bed or a king size, how much of a space do you cover? Ontario's housing minister in 2023, Steve Clark, resigned amid Greenbelt land swap controversy. Same Ontario. Developers seems to be taking the height of a day. when you decide to sell the green belt. First Nation leaders and residents following multiple investigations into his ministry's handling of the Greenbelt land swaps. He had to resign. Well, at least that's honorable for him to resign. But we seem to think that all them actions has a lot to do with him alone, that the ball pack falls on him. No. And like I say every time, to anybody who cares to listen, I say, do you see your Canada the way I see my Canada? Because this is Canada. If you have suggestions for us on the show, kindly reach out to us on info@CradleRadio.com. I'm up with that right on screen. info@CradleRadio.com. And don't forget, we're practically on all social media handles. You could be a part of this by just joining in, following our Facebook page and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Follow us on practically all social media handles. We are Cradle Radio there. Be it on TikTok, be it on X, be it on where else? Discord as well. We're on that one as well. And you can have a say. You can have your chance to just relieve yourself of what's bothering you as regards the topic being discussed on a daily. Don't forget, Mondays through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., that's when This is Canada is being transmitted live via Cradle Radio. It was a radio station that we're beaming from right now. And we're live streaming on two portals, which is Facebook and YouTube as well. So if you want to be a part of this, that's where to get to us. Enjoying our reels and shorts, share, comment, and let's know where we're getting it right as well. It's encouraging when we have that, because we ain't stopping anytime soon. We're not even stopping. This is here to stay. That's right. That's right. And don't forget, even after the show, live transmission continues on Cradle Radio, in which you can hear so many lovely tunes. I would visit this topic back. It's not a topic that's gonna just be a 1 hour topic. It's a broad topic that needs to be said. What about students coming in? What about students coming in who don't have a job, who coming into this country and will still have to bother their parents or their guardian from wherever they're coming from, or their support system to send them money into Canada so they can pay their rent? And I don't say there's a bad thing in people having $1 million home. I'm not saying anything that is bad as regards that. But if you're having $1 million home, shouldn't it be commensurate with what you have and what you're earning on a daily, so that you can sustain yourself, so that you could be having something in your pockets? Do you know so many people paying rent today can't even feed themselves? Do you know so many people paying rent today can't even do nothing in terms of their own social life? They can't even afford to go to them theaters or to the cinema, as you might want to call it. Do you know that there are other expenses in their daily lifestyle that is more than rent paying or mortgage paying? How do you tabulate this in a way that a fraction, because it's no longer a fraction of their earnings that's going to their homes, it's practically almost the entirety of their earnings. My name is Akin Loye. We'll visit this topic, throw a boomerang out there, and we'll drop back with it. Housing hell. Housing hell. We'll repeat this one. How policy, greed, and neglect broke Canada's dream. It's been my pleasure doing this. We'll do same tomorrow, being Thursday, last day of the week on This is Canada on Cradle Radio. We'll do same, and we'll talk about something different. But do remember, if this hits you in a good spot, share with your friends, share with your loved ones, share with people that have the same consciousness as you have. And hopefully we could spread the news around that there's a new sheriff in town. Have yourself a wonderful day, people. See you tomorrow.
Wake up in the morning every weekday and join Akinloye on Cradle Radio.
This is Cradle Radio.
This is Cradle Radio.
This is Cradle Radio.
Wake up in the morning every weekday and join Akinloye.